on the treadmill.
God, we're here again.
I'm running on the treadmill. Woo, I was bopping.
Yes. Hello, everyone. We are back once again for the next episode of A Conversation with Kely. Episode, who knows at this point, but you guys know the drill. There is a double eviction happening tonight on Big Brother 25. Allegedly, a double eviction. Might be something else going on. We'll get into that at the end. But as per usual, because there's a double eviction, we are going to talk about the week so far that is proceeded, which there's a lot to get into. But before we do, I am here, my loving booth co-host, Aly. How are you doing after that very nice workout?
Oh, I'm fantastic. It's my last day off before the weekend. I went for a walk with Magoo, a really nice one, and it was so nice out. But other than that, just kind of chilling today, and I'm very excited to talk about these episodes, which we literally have 10 or 11 pages just for 2 episodes, and I'm so excited for the double.
Yeah, I think, and I said this last time, I don't think they could have picked a better time for a double to happen than this past week, because this is feeling like such like a huge transitional period for this season. Like there's a lot that's changing. There's new groups forming like every single day. There's new information being said. Like this is a really crucial time, I think, to do a double. And so I'm really happy that they did. But also I think in terms of like in terms of like when we've talked about the week before a double, I don't think we've ever had as much to talk about as we do in these 2 episodes, because there's a lot going on here that I'm very excited to get into.
Oh, yeah.
But before we do get into it all, I mean, just general thoughts on this week overall so far.
Oh, top tier. It's so good. Like if like the rest of the season is just like this week and the past week and such, this is going to be a top tier season. I love it. And it's like literally it's already legendary. Like I feel like if it keeps going like this, it'll be really historic.
Yeah, I've been generally surprised by people who are saying they're like starting to check out, because I feel like even though yes, the season has been great prior to this, I think it's only going to get more interesting as the weeks go on.
I think people just get checked out of anything really, because like BB Twitter is always has mixed opinions.
Yeah. I mean, I think with this season, like what we're noticing is, because this cast, I think, is so good, there's so many different people to choose from, people have to think, oh, I can only root for this person, but not everyone else. And I've always been of the opinion where it's like, root for who you want to root for, you know? Like, it doesn't really matter to me.
Literally, I'm basically rooting for everyone except, well, I will say, like, I don't even hate Cameron or Jared. I just don't like things they've done and said. But like, I'm literally not on hate level of anybody though.
Yeah, no, same. I think this is definitely like one of the better casts we've had in a very long time, and I think that's why there's so many people. Like some people love Suri and think anyone that doesn't love Suri, they don't understand that. Some people love Corey in America and think anyone that doesn't love Corey in America, they don't understand that. Me, on the other hand, I like both. I like both of them.
Me too.
You know what? Sue me for that. I don't care. Anyway, I just want to get that.
It's just a very likable cast. Like,
yeah, I just want to get that out of the way, because I've seen a lot of just like unnecessary like vitriol going on Twitter and things like that, and it's just kind of like, let's just be grateful for this season, because generally I think this is one of the best seasons we've had in a very long time. But either way, we're just gonna get into all of it right now. My God, starting off with Sunday's episode, I'm just gonna say it right now. It's been a very rare for Big Brother to have an episode that I was this invested in a very long time. This to me is like top tier Big Brother. Everything we get in this episode, first of all, it's what I wanted out of the pressure cooker, where it's like there's so much going on and there's so many possible things that could go down. There's so many different combinations of people that could win and what could happen if they do. This was that episode for me. Everything we get here was just so incredibly satisfying and riveting. It was such a good episode of reality television.
Yeah, like obviously even the pressure cooker was fun. It's just like this one was during like the wall comp and after and everything. Like, oh, it's so fantastic.
It's more so like the pressure cooker.
So juicy.
I enjoyed the pressure cooker, but it was more like the episode itself was just kind of lackluster to me. It didn't really give me the drama that I wanted. This gave that to me. Like, this made up for that, I would say.
Oh, definitely.
So. Yeah. Anyway, actually, you're going to go ahead and get started with this one. So let's talk about Sunday.
All right. So everyone is competing in the wall comp. Obviously, it's a very historic comp. Love it.
Oh, yeah.
Cam is feeling he couldn't have put a more successful stamp on a week with having 2 goals in mind. Number to cause as much chaos as possible while simultaneously getting his number 1 target in the house in Izzy, and it was magic.
Yeah, I mean, he's still feeling high and mighty after this, which is so funny to me because he literally just discovered that, like, Jared's been playing him and that everything he thought he knew was wrong. You would think Cam would be scrambling right now, like, oh my god, what's going to happen to me? He's still, like, so chill and like, reserved, and I just don't get it. Like, I just don't get it. He's so bad at this game.
I know. He is definitely, like, more entertaining and a little bit better now, like recently he's been a little better, but he's still not that good of a strategist, but he's still like fun to watch with like his chaos.
I think after this week I will say I prefer Cam in fighting mode than I do like in power.
Exactly. Yeah, definitely. So Felicia is thrilled to still be in the house and would love to win HOH and have a bit of control over who might leave, because the further she gets in the game, the more comp she needs to win to give herself more of an advantage in the game.
And I'm so happy Felicia's still here. Like, generally.
I know. Like, she's like, I mean, her and Izzy were both feeds gold, but like, I would have been so sad if Felicia left. Like,
especially the confessionals she gets this week. She has some top tier ones just this week alone.
Yeah. Oh, she's so good. Ugh.
Yeah.
America is so excited to win the wall comp, channeling her inner Taylor Hale. Woo! And win this. She also thinks she's built for this, being pretty petite and will be able to last longer than some of the bigger guys.
And America was, I think, one of the biggest contenders, like, going into this comp. Like, I think everyone pretty much thought she was gonna get this, but we'll get into that.
It's just like the pressure cooker. We thought it would be America or Mimi. Yeah. Cirie feels this HOH is critical after losing Izzy, as she tried everything in her power to keep her, but everything just went haywire before the vote. So we then get a flashback to 10 hours before eviction.
And this is actually like most of the episode.
Yeah, it's so good.
Yeah. Because there's a lot that went down like before the eviction that I was trying to allude to in the last week, but they show it all here, which I was very happy about.
Oh, yeah. Cirie talks to Jared about how sad it is that Izzy and how she's already being discounted in the house. Cirie is getting a very sketchy vibe from Matt and Corey this morning, as no one has really wanted to talk or make eye contact, so she knows there's a problem.
Her reads just unmatched. Unmatched.
Oh, so good.
Nothing gets past her. We love it.
Oh, she's amazing. She warns Jared that Izzy may be in trouble just based on how people are acting, and tells him to talk to Matt and Corey and see what he thinks, because if she's in trouble, so are they.
Yeah.
Jared says although his mom gets really paranoid in this game, it's time for him to get his boots on the ground and get to work and figure out what's going on in this game. He does think Matt is the only person who will give him anything close to the truth, but if he has to twist it a little bit to get the answers he needed, he definitely is willing to do that.
And I will say right now, just not to interrupt you, but I do want to interject. I do want to interject and say that I've seen a lot of debate going on as to whether or not this was a good move from Jared. I do think the idea of lying about this to get the information out of Matt and Corey when he knows that he's in the position that he's in is a good move. I think that alone is good. I think when you're at the bottom, you kind of have to just, do whatever it takes to survive in that way. He knows he's not in a great position right now. The way he handled it, though, that's a different story.
I know.
And we'll get into
I will say, like, Jared has good moments, but he also has his, like, very frustrating moments.
He just, like, he can't seem to recognize, like, how to play, like, in a way where he doesn't know how to play strategically. He knows how to play emotionally. Like, he has the right idea, but he never executes it in the proper way. He always just focuses way too much on his emotions. And sometimes, and it's like, it sucks to do this in games, but like, sometimes you have to just let your emotions, like, not take over. And that's, I think, Jared's, like, biggest problem.
Yeah, definitely.
So, and we really see that here.
Oh, yeah. Jared goes to Matt and says that Jag is telling him to keep Felicia and vote out Izzy, and that he told him last night they were going to keep her.
which is a good lie. I will say that in itself is good. What Jared's doing right now, I'm actually impressed by. If he had kept on doing this, I would have been like, okay, Jared did something, but we'll get into that.
Exactly. He doesn't want to do this to Matt, but he needs to figure out what is going on, and he's not sure he will tell him the whole and honest truth unless he frames it in a certain way. So Matt doesn't know what Jag is doing and is confident Jared is telling the truth, but is still confused right now.
Yeah, I mean, as he should be.
Yeah. Matt tells him he doesn't know for sure, but he has a gut feeling it's going to flip. He thinks for sure Jag will vote Felicia this day, and Bowie will go with majority, and she's convinced that majority is convinced to keep Felicia.
And Matt handled himself so well in this conversation, mainly because of the fact that he's put himself in a spot where he's very much in the middle. So therefore, whatever he's going to say, people have the facts to back him up because he talks to Sari just as much as he does this other group. And it really is just a testament to like how good of a spot Matt is in right now.
Yeah, definitely. It's like he's doing so well.
Yeah.
Like just
he's definitely
like
one of the front runners.
Oh yeah. Like even if he's said a lot of problematic things in past weeks, like he's still like doing so well like socially and everything and strategically.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Matt plays up the fact he doesn't know what's happening in an effort to not let Jared see that he's been dishonest with him. And then Jared wants to bring Sari and Corey in to figure out where the vote is going to be moving forward. Jared talks to the both of them, saying he wants them all to be on the same page and hopes they're sticking to their word with keeping Izzy. Matt says he doesn't know why Jag is telling people he's flipping, and Sari says she hasn't counted his vote, only counted theirs.
Yeah, and I think we knew when like Sari and Corey were gonna be brought in, this is gonna like go off the rails like pretty quickly.
Definitely. Corey says none of this is adding up, as it makes no sense that Jag would tell Jared anything he was in on this blind side, and the only thing that makes sense is he was trying to cover his own ass, which I will say, the funny thing is, there's this argument going on, and then Jag's just sleeping.
Yeah, I thought that was so funny that like Jag, they literally cut to Jag, who's literally just like passed out, like asleep.
I
like
know.
It's so funny.
Didn't he have like his face covered too or something?
Yeah, he was literally like buried in like his blanket.
Oh, it's so good.
Yeah,
it's
it was
amazing.
Such a good edit.
Like he's like being called out and he's just like napping.
Yeah, and he's like none the wiser. Yeah, it's great. But
so funny.
Yeah, I think the mistake here is telling Corey about this. I think if somehow Corey had been left out of this, I think this actually could have worked. But because Corey is someone who, similar to Sari, nothing really gets past, it wasn't gonna work. So
exactly. So Matt and Corey then talk, and Matt says that Jag is a fucking liar, and Corey doesn't know why, and Matt says Jag fuck them, but he wants to call Jag in as he's saving himself, and Corey tells him they can't flip back because it's simply too late, and they need to vote Izzy out and vote out Jag after Jared. Yeah, Jag is in hot water here.
Yeah, this was this seemed pretty bad for Jag, and I remember.
I will say, like, Jag's definitely doing way better. He just is, and he's still like not in the best position, but he's definitely doing better.
Well, like, the thing is, Jared's lie actually could work because of the fact that like Jag was having second thoughts, and they didn't show this in the episode, but like Jag was having second thoughts about, do we want to make this a blindside? What do we tell Sari? What do we tell Jared? So the idea that he would go to Jared actually does kind of have some weight to it. So I think again, if Jared had just kind of like stayed calm here like just kind of stuck to
Jason.
Hi Jason. Yes, we miss you as well.
We miss you and we love you.
Yes, love you, Jason.
Hope you're doing well.
Yes, definitely. But I think if he had just like stayed calm here, I actually think this could have worked because it is a believable lie.
Oh, I agree. Like, so good from Matt.
Yeah. Oh, no, I was talking more about Jared, but yeah.
Oh, sorry, Jared, yeah. So Jared talks to Felicia, saying that Matt told her she is getting his vote today, and told her that he believed she was being saved, and says she has the votes, and Jared says he doesn't know what to believe at this point. And then Jared goes to Matt and says that Felicia just told him to talk to her, and that she said he has her and Matt says him and Corey want to talk to him, and they have to go out this way. And Jared asks if he wants to stay with Felicia, and Matt says there's been some shit that has been going around, and he then spills to him that there is word going around that the 7 deadly sins is another variation of as for real, with 7 people in it, and Jared denies this being a thing. And when Matt names all the people in it, so Jared asks him to bring Corey in because this is getting crazy, and Corey is also the person Jared is most concerned with.
Yeah, and I mean, this is really where things start to heat up here. I think we kind of knew that, I think we kind of feared that this was going to be a problem, that like Cirie and Jared and Izzy and Felicia were in like 3 different alliances, and they were all called different things. And if I recall, some of them couldn't even remember what the alliance was or what the name was. They kept getting mixed up by them. And I feel like this was really like the culmination of all of that. So if I had to name a flaw in Cirie, Felicia, Izzy, and Jared's game collectively, it's that they just made too many alliances. I think I get the sentiment of doing so, but I think they just did it a little too quickly, and they just couldn't keep up with it. And I think we see that all come crashing down here. So,
yeah, literally. Like, they were just trying to play the middle, and all these got caught.
Yeah, but I will say, at this point, Jared has handled himself pretty well in this conversation. You can see that he's upset, but he's remained cool and things like that. This is where things really escalate, and we get to something.
Also, during this fight, like, honestly, both of them make, like, good points.
Yes, I was going to mention the fact, though, that, like, literally at this point in the season, like, this week was giving me everything that I could have possibly wanted. A crazy blindside, you know, people who have been in power, like, scrambling, the person that they didn't want HOH wins HOH and does all this crazy shit. The one thing that we have been missing from even the past 2 seasons, because they haven't given them us, is a fight. Everyone's been saying, like, we have not had a fight. And I think the biggest thing about it is the last fight that we had, unfortunately, was the Dave Vaughn and Christmas one in 22. And we know how just uncomfortable and like toxic of a fight that was to watch. So I think people are really just hoping for like a much more like entertaining fight, kind of harkening back to like the good old days of Big Brother. And we got that here. This was so good.
It's amazing.
Yes, this was such a good fight. I think both of them, you know, this
but
is the
I will say
fight, like,
it also kind of like put Corey in hot water a little bit too.
Well, we'll get into that, but yeah, so Corey comes in, and brace yourself. There's a lot to talk about here. I will say we're going to spend a lot of time on this because the episode spends a lot of time on this, which I was happy about. Also because, I mean, this fight was like 2 hours long, and they had to like, and for something they had to condense to like 20 minutes. I thought they did a pretty good job with this because they spend a lot of time on it. So Corey comes in, Jared has to talk to him. Bowie also comes in, who they say.
I will say it's just so funny how like Bowie and Matt are just like instigating.
Yeah. And I love the part where Bowie's like, should I be here? And Jared's like, yeah, you're fine. You can be here. So Jared tells him that he isn't doing the back and forth anymore. He doesn't care about sparing feelings, and he asks him what's going on. And Corey talks about how he and Matt have been talking, and he's under the impression that for at least a week in the game, the person he has considered his closest ally has been lying to him. And this whole voting out Izzy idea, he doesn't know what Jag is playing at. And yeah, I mean, we've been seeing a lot of animosity between these two for a while now. Jared's been talking shit about Corey. Corey found out about it. And it really just all kind of comes to a head here. Where Jared says that when it comes to Cameron or Jag, he doesn't give a fuck about anything they speak about because everything that comes out of their mouths is a lie. And now he's trying to say that he's lying to him. And Corey asks if he's been open with everyone in the room about what's been going on in this game with For Real. And Jared then acts all confused as to what that is and says that is why he brought Bowie here. And Corey then starts naming off all the people in that alliance. And Jared says, and this is where I think Jared really just starts to not be so great in this conversation. Because he literally is just acting in denial here. He doesn't want to admit that this alliance was a real thing. He tells Corey that was a fake alliance, and Corey asks if Seven Deadly Sins was too, and Jared says that just so they are clear, he doesn't consider any of it real, and Corey says he did not give him that impression. Jared says this is why he's pissed him off, because what he's saying is that he's part of some shit, and he's been part of more meetings than he's been to, one of them, and Corey refutes this by saying he has been the last person to find out everything, which is true, and Jared reiterates that he has been in more meetings with that group than he has, and just admitted he's lying right now and is looking really bad. How did you think of this whole thing, how Jared handled himself here?
Yeah, he should have just, honestly, at that point, he should have just admitted it was true.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it was obviously entertaining to watch, but like, he should have just been up. He literally should have just been up front there.
Yeah, like I think
because like everything is called out now, so he should have.
Yeah, like at this, like literally everything's out in the open here. But Corey asks if he felt Seven Deadly Sins was a real alliance. Matt chimes in saying that he thought it was, which is true. They've been treating it like it was to anyone that was in that alliance. And Jared says he did too. Corey says then he lied to him straight up, and Jared says he just wants all of them to notice that he's been very straightforward, direct, honest, and passionate, which I will say right now, anytime you say that, it means you haven't been. Like if you play a game and someone says, I've been honest with you the entire time, it usually means they haven't been. So don't believe that, especially if you're getting defensive about it, like Jared and before this entire conversation. So Corey is trying to call him a liar while he's just exposing himself right now. And then Corey, after being yelled at for like literally an hour, Jared screaming at him, he starts to get on his level a bit, and Corey starts yelling as well, which I was honestly really happy about. I thought this was going to be a very like one-sided conversation. I was very happy that Corey also started like calling him out on things here. I thought it was
so good.
It's because to me, it's so much more entertaining when you have both sides making a compelling argument and they're going back and forth than like one person being like, you said this, you said this, you said this. And then the other person be like, well, you said this, you said this. Like, it's so much more entertaining that way.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So people are coming at him saying Jared has been lying to him for 3 weeks and says he just keeps talking over him. And we get this great confessional with Corey, who really is kind of the star of this entire episode, where he says that Jared knows that if it comes down
I actually think Corey was like one of the stars of this week so far.
Yeah, he has a lot of confessionals this week. I like the way he broke it down.
Actually, I will say Corey and Blue actually were great.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. I think Corey did a really good job of breaking this down, because I won't lie, hearing about this on the feeds and seeing this whole fight play out, I was confused as to like, what are they even fighting about? Like, they're just going on. And I like that Corey really broke it down here to kind of simplify, like, okay, this is what this is all about. So he says that Jared knows it comes down to the two of them trading words and actually arguing he's screwed. So instead, he's just opting to scream over him. And he says he knows that we're probably very confused. And so he welcomes us to what he calls Corey's strategy corner, breaking down the lies that Jared is saying. He says that he's lying about Seven Deadly Sins being a real alliance, despite him targeting Jag, which he's like totally correct about. That alliance they haven't taken seriously since Jag was evicted. So, they've kind of just been bullshitting it the entire time. And then lying about For Real not being legit because it was for America and Mimi, when the sentiment, at least to Corey, has been, yes, Seven Deadly Sins is just to placate Jag. It's not real. For Real is the actual alliance. This is the one that we're going to actually stick to. And now Jared can't seem to get those stories straight. So the point is, everything he says opens up a whole new can of lies, and he's going to make sure that everyone sees through it. So Corey then tells Jared that he has been telling him one thing, and he has 7 people telling him another thing. That's the truth and the reality, and he should understand why it's so hard for him to believe that when he's putting all the pieces together and everyone's coming to him with Jared's stories about how he misled them. And he's now saying that Corey's lying. He's telling the truth just because he's not talking in a loud volume and not letting him say a word. It's bullshit. As they've been comparing notes, he's been in the center of this game thing. He was his boy, and he's heard all this shit and doesn't know what he's supposed to think, which is true. I mean, Jared and Corey have been very closely aligned up to this point. But I mean, Jared's been a really shitty ally, so like, I don't blame Corey for getting really annoyed by this. I think Jared's been a shitty ally for even everyone, even his own mother. I think he's been a bad ally too.
He has.
Jared tells him he has brought his tone down, so he needs to stop yelling at him, which I thought was like so hypocritical of Jared when he's been screaming at him for like an hour.
I know.
Expect Corey to just like not yell? Like,
yeah, literally, he had every right to.
Even if he was trying to stay calm, when someone's just yelling at you for like 45 minutes, I think the natural reaction is to eventually yell back because it's like, I can't fucking take this anymore. So Corey says he has been yelling at him for 40 minutes straight, which is true. Jared then asks what he's hearing, and Corey asks if he wants to go pull Jag in here and ask him, and Jared tells him to do so, and we'll get into what happens with that in a little bit. But Corey says that it feels like Jared is just trying to steamroll over every point he makes, and it's time to figure out if he's telling the truth. So he needs to bring in Jag as accusations are flying, and this is getting out of hand, and he needs to call in his witness to set everything straight. Suri also joins them after Felicia lets her know what's going on. I thought it was so great. Felicia's like, yeah, they're lying in there. You should probably go in. And,
it's so good.
So Cam, meanwhile, he's chilling. He's in the room, and he's feeling delighted at how much is hitting the fan and how everyone is coming upstairs. And he's like the grand marshal of Cam's Chaos Week parade. The naivety in this guy, the way he thinks he did all of this is so funny when it literally has nothing to do with him.
Yeah, literally. He's just like, I'm chilling right now.
Yeah, like, I think it's so funny how Cam has convinced himself that all this chaos is happening because of him, when literally I think anybody could have made this move and this still would have happened. Like, I don't think this has anything to do with Cam. Did he
Not at all
accelerate it? Yes. By, like, putting up Felicia and Izzy? Yes, for sure he did that. But I think all this stuff was going to come out eventually regardless, especially with Cerise still would have gotten that punishment regardless, and Jared still would have been just as messy as he's been. So I don't think would have changed there. So Suri comes in and asks them what the point of all of this is right now. And Suri, usually when she comes in, you know, she's the one to kind of like break things up, get everyone to come to an understanding. But you really see how much hot water her and Jared are in through the way things are handled in this conversation.
Yeah, very.
Who wants to clear the air. Jared says that he's telling him he's been lying, and Corey then asks Jag directly if what Jared is saying is true, and Jag asked Jared if he ever did that. Jared said he never did, even though he just spent an hour telling Corey that he did. He literally just says, yeah, no, that didn't happen.
Oh my God.
If you're going to lie about something, you need to stick to it. Like, lying and gaslighting is a part of Big Brother. It is. You need to convince Jag that this happened, even though it didn't. Like, I don't understand why Jared couldn't have just stuck with this story. Like, the fact that he basically just says, oh, it didn't happen. The second that Jag walks in the room, your whole argument is pointless now, pretty much. So yeah. So basically Corey's confused as to why Jared even came in and told him and Matt that an hour ago, which now it's like completely useless. And Jared tells Matt he must have misunderstood, which Corey calls out immediately, understandably, because that's really not okay what Jared was insinuating there, insinuating that Matt couldn't hear what was going on because the fact that he's deaf, which is really fucked up. So Jag says he never said that at all. Corey makes sure he's telling him it didn't happen, which he confirms, and Corey says that he believes him. So Jag talks about how Jared's a liar. This never happened. He now has to defend his name and honor. He doesn't like what Jared is doing, especially hurting his reputation with Corey and now his closest ally, Matt, which is, yeah, I mean, that's exactly what he was trying to do. He was trying to blame Jag for this, and Jag then asked Matt if Jared came in and said these things. Matt explains to him what was said. Jared says the reason he said that to him is because he doesn't trust him. That's why he angled that question at him, trying to get this. So he's really like, you know, trying hard to like be like, no, I had a point in doing this, to try to get the statement out of him and get him very honest. But he angled it in a certain way to tell him the truth. So Corey feels that Jared has no idea what he's talking about and is grasping at straws because he's caught in a lie. And yeah, I mean, this is the point where I'm just like, Jared's completely lost me in this argument. He's lost the argument, and he's trying so hard to like get back on track to where he was. So Corey
he's literally just being very hypocritical.
Yeah, well, not just that. He's also showing like how basically everything he just did was pointless. Like again, All Jared needed to do here was stick to the story. He could have still said, no, Matt's like, Jag is lying about this. We literally had this conversation. This happened, and then this happened, and then this happened. And if he had done that, I honestly think this could have worked. But because the fact that he immediately just backs off the second Jag says it didn't happen, it puts Jared in a really bad spot. So Jag then asked Matt if Jared came in and said these things. Oh, I just read that. So Corey he's painting the situation far more abstract, and it was very straightforward. He runs back the sequence of events to everyone, saying he's trying to pin him against him or against Jag or America, when the reality is he hasn't. And yeah, I mean, I agree with Corey there that he's making it way more complex than it really was.
He is.
Interjects, and I thought this was going to be the point where this is going to start to die down. But again, it shows that because the fact that Cirie has not really had a handle on what's been going on since she was in that kayak, she can't really control this situation in the way that she's been able to with other things. She can't put out this fire. She tries to. Because she says she's never pinned him against anybody. She doesn't think anyone here has been totally honest with everyone in this game. There's been so many alliances brought up, such as the Bye Bye Bitches alliance, for real. And people have said they wanted an all-girls alliance, including America, that never went anywhere or had a meaning. I'll be honest, that's the first time I heard about that. I don't remember this at all. But
I mean, it would be cool if like the remaining girls formed something.
Well, I think she's talking about like early on in the season. She said they discussed who's a target or who to bring it into, and that's why they never heard about it, because
it probably wasn't mentioned because it like never went anywhere.
Yeah, probably. Because then, everything Kirsten started doing and things like that. Yeah. She doesn't want to be in 75, and she says she doesn't want to be in 75 different alliances. And Corey says that she knows how much respect he has for her in and outside the game. But when she's saying she doesn't want to be in them, he believes that she is, which, and so is Izzy, and so is Felicia, and so is Jared, in a good amount of them. And she's definitely benefiting from that, at least until now. And any person who wins HOH feel they're in an alliance with those four. And I felt like this conversation, I mean, Cirie's in like a dire position now. Like, this is not good. The way that she's been able to, clean stuff up, the way that she's been able to like repair relationships. She can't do it now just because Jared has ruined things too much, and there's nothing she can do about it at this point. I felt you feel really hopeless for Cirie here, who's like trying to be like, I wasn't involved with this, but Corey has too much dirt on her to, let her get away with that. So, really unfortunate for Cirie. I thought she was going to be able to clean this up, but it didn't happen.
I feel like with Jared gone, she could try and rekindle those relationships.
But is she even interested in playing when Jared's gone? That's the real question.
I feel like she will.
Because she's talked about how, like, she puts Jared before, like, everything else, so.
I mean, yeah.
I mean, I guess we'll see, because we haven't seen a version of Cirie where she's had to play without Jared, so it'll be interesting to see if that happens. But Corey feels that she's trying to downplay all these alliances. It's because she's in all of them, and if people start seeing that the four of them will be the next targets, she will be the next one to go. He knows for sure that Jared is untrustworthy, and is frustrated he believed him in the first place, which, again, I don't blame Corey for thinking that. So Corey says that he thinks, obviously, him and Jared have different interpretations of how this has gone. Jared says this conversation for him, just so they can wrap up this bullshit, was for the people who we want to work with. He wants to wrap this up, even though he's the one that started it, but okay.
I know.
And have told him crucial things about his game that hasn't been exposed. Corey then asked him what his intention was of telling him and Matt about Jag this morning. Jared says he wanted to find out exactly what he just told him, and Corey asked Jag if he's comfortable with how that played out, because he was throwing him under the bus, and Bowie then jokingly asked him if they're moving forward after today, and if they're all six. The one thing I do wish they
I love Bowie. She's so funny.
Oh, yeah. The one thing I do wish they would have shown that was a really funny moment with Bowie is there was a moment where Cirie asked them all, she said, how many of you are only in one alliance? And Bowie and goes, well, I am. I thought that was great.
I wish the episode showed that. It's so good.
Yeah, that was a really funny moment to me. I really
we're actually, like, she's somebody who also woke up. Like, we're actually getting way more from her.
Yeah, definitely. I agree with that. But then we get this really great confessional with Cirie where she says that she's flabbergasted that all this is occurring right now. She just told Jared to see what's going on, not start a whole war. I mean, yeah, that's
True.
literally what she did. She's now on this island surrounded by a bunch of sharks, and this is the most critical Jared. This is the most critical Jared has been after the have-not debacle. And
I
yeah,
will say, I feel like if Cirie was in the room there like the whole time, I feel like it wouldn't have gotten that chaotic.
I think all of this could have been resolved if Cirie wasn't in that kayak for like 48 hours, because
Definitely.
without Cirie telling Jared to clean stuff up a little bit or to calm down, Jared just ran rampant and his emotions just completely took over and he couldn't recover. And that's now, and I thought they did such a great job now of showing.
Yeah, I do. Like, I think Jared needs Cirie more than Cirie needs him.
I disagree, actually. I think that they've shown that, like, I think Cirie needs Izzy. That's what she needed. She needed Izzy.
I mean, yeah,
We
definitely.
really see now where the house is, where it's basically everybody versus now Cirie, Jared, and Blue. Those three are pretty much on their own. All the rest of them are trying to win this HOH, and it made this wall comp, which I'm not going to lie to you, was pretty underwhelming to watch on the feeds because it was literally 45 minutes. I couldn't believe it, but it was literally 45 minutes. It made it much more exciting.
They were all dropping like flies because they were hungry and that kind of thing.
Yeah, I think the reason why it lasted so quickly was because the fact that, like, remember, these people haven't eaten. They've been eating nothing but, like, raw oatmeal for, like, a week, except for Cameron. So, and Cameron obviously can't compete. So, like, they're not able to perform to the best of their ability in this comp. I think some of them probably would have done a lot better had they had been a little bit more prepared in terms of like what they've eaten, but because they hadn't eaten until I believe 11 o'clock, that night, the night before the eviction, they just weren't in the proper shape for this. And because of that, most of them barely lasted 10 minutes. So anyway,
agreed.
Let's talk about the wall comp here, which Allie's going to get into, and the rest of this episode.
All right, so we go back to the wall comp, and Corey says after all the shenanigans with Jared, he cannot let him win this competition. He has to fall, and he doesn't think he could survive an HOH from him.
Yeah, and this is exactly what I was talking about. I love the way that this episode set up the conflict in the house. You now get to see how everyone is against Jared and things like that. It's just it's so good the way they laid everything out. It was so great to watch.
Oh, it's amazing. Jared is feeling super determined to win this after the fight. If Corey or America win, he will absolutely be on his way out the door. And now that him and his mom are on the outs, he can't just sit and allow them to roll over. So he has to win this HOH. Yeah, I feel like the only ones who wouldn't put them up is like Mimi and Felicia if they fix their relationship a bit.
Probably.
Yeah. Matt doesn't know where he stands right now after all the arguments that have happened and is scared what Jared would do if he wins HOH, so everyone else doesn't want him to win either.
So yeah, I thought it was so funny. It was like and I saw people say this, if you remember in Big Brother 15 when Andy wins HOH and there's that confessional of everyone being like, I feel like Andy and I are great together. We all want to work together. This was like the opposite of that, where it's like, I don't want Jared to win. I don't want Jared to win. It was so good the way they did that.
Oh yeah, that is so good.
Yeah.
Amazing. Blue is wanting to win this HOH to think about her own game and is hoping she doesn't fall. Cirie says as much as she knows they need this HOH, she can feel herself literally shaking to hold on. And just as she says that, down she goes.
Yeah, I mean, they did a great job with that in this episode.
I think she lasted like 9 minutes or something.
She was not there very long at all.
So she says the only person she wants to win this HOH is Jared, but Blue is looking like a statue next to him, and her winning might also be okay because she wouldn't turn on him this early.
Yeah.
There's various colors of goo hurled at them during this comp, as well as meatballs being thrown at them.
Which I think is in part of the reason why this was so challenging, because not only are they already like not in the proper shape for this comp, but like they poured way more goo and stuff at them than they usually do. It's not like they don't usually, but like there was way more goo and stuff like coming at them constantly throughout this comp. Usually that's like you know, after a certain point they do that, but no, it was like constant. Like every few seconds there's another color of goo just coming at them. It was insane to watch.
If I was like on the comp, I would just joking, you know how like Josh Martinez is making all those, like he's like, get off my wall. I would make jokes and be like, what if I don't want to?
Yeah, I'm surprised nobody like said that.
I know, it'd be so funny.
Yeah.
It'd just be so fun.
It would have been funny. Yeah, in general, I mean, this just seemed like a really hard challenge all around. So I honestly don't blame most of them for falling as quickly as they did.
Could you slay it?
No, I would have fallen immediately. Are you kidding me?
For me, it's very hit or miss. Like I could probably do well, but it'd also be hard.
Yeah, I don't know.
So
I feel like this is one of those comps where like you can't really judge how you're going to do until you actually do it. So.
Exactly, because like you could be hurting too, like a lot.
Exactly.
So shortly after this, Felicia ends up falling off. And then America is next to fall, and then with Mimi following shortly after, who is sad that this was hers to lose and was very focused and is disappointed she was the fourth person to fall. Like, I know, I was so surprised Mimi and America fell like that quick.
Yeah, it was crazy. Like and similar to the pressure cooker. I mean, Mimi was so solid, and then she just took a tumble.
Yeah, both of them were like the people that everyone was like, yeah, they're probably gonna win it.
Yeah.
So Corey knows it's all up to him, but he's dying up there and doesn't know how much longer he can hold on, and he ends up falling and is pissed, but there's still a lot of people on the wall that can guarantee his safety. He's rooting for Jag, Matt, Bowie, and even Blue winning would be fine, just can't have Jared.
Yep.
So then Jag then falls, with Matt falling shortly after. Also, Matt was someone I was like thinking that could win too, just because he's so like
Matt was really steady. I thought he definitely had a chance.
Yeah. Corey says since Bowie is from Australia and spends most of her time hanging upside down anyways, so this should be nothing. They all seem to also be pulling for her. Corey saying that was so funny.
No, it was really funny. I liked that.
Bowie says she doesn't trust anyone in the house to do the right thing by her, and everyone is lying through their teeth, so she will be hanging on as long as she can. I do want to see her win HOH at some point, because I do not know what she'd do.
Yeah, she would be the most unpredictable, because Bowie, basically the position that Bowie's in now is everyone sees her as like their third. Like Corey and America see Bowie as their third.
Yeah.
Mag and Matt see Bowie as their third. You know, Blue and Jared see Bowie as their third.
Like, as of right now, I could see her being someone they take to the end to win against.
Yeah, but who knows? Maybe she wins in that scenario.
Who knows? I mean, oh my god, could you imagine?
Yeah.
I mean, that'd be cool.
Yeah, I don't know.
So, but sadly, at around 43 minutes, Bowie ends up falling with Blue. Was it Bowie and then Blue, or was it Blue then Bowie?
No, it was.
Oh no,
it was Bowie and then Blue. It was literally.
No. Oh no, it wasn't. It was. I think Blue fell off first, but Bowie was right after.
No.
Yeah, that's what I was watching. It was Blue first.
Yeah.
So yeah, Blue and Bowie end up falling. So which means Jared has won HOH, and to everyone except Felicia, Sari, Mimi, and Matt's dismay.
Yeah,
they're the only ones. They're the because obviously Felicia, Sari, and Mimi are actually not mad about it.
And Matt's also clapping just because he has to make it seem like he's still with them, but you can tell he's like not happy.
Mimi and Matt are just trying to play the middle.
Yeah, well, I think Mimi trusts Jared more than Matt does at this point. So But yeah, I mean, I love the way this was edited. They made it seem like Bowie and Blue fell like farther apart from each other. It was literally like back to back. Like Blue fell and then Bowie fell right after, which was crazy. And some people speculated that there was like some kind of deal that like she made with Jared, but I don't think that was the case. I honestly don't know why Bowie fell at the time that she did, because it seemed like she was about to win, and Jared seemed like he was struggling too. So like, and I was very much here for like a Bowie HOH.
I know that would have been iconic.
Yeah, I would have liked to see what she did.
But I mean, it is pretty spicy though that like Jared did get it because he was in hot water. So
Yeah, I will say,
very
like, as
exciting.
much as I don't like Jared, the House Target winning HOH is like such a classic, like it's
Mm-hmm.
such classic Big Brother, and it
Yeah.
was so great to actually get to see it play out. Like
It's
this was
literally
very
chef's
exciting.
kiss. Chef's
Yeah, like
kiss.
like as much as I don't enjoy Jared, I just love that like literally nobody wanted this guy to win. Everybody was targeting him. He was like the last person everyone needed. Corey and him just got into this huge fight, and then Jared wins HOH, and everything
Yep.
changes in like a matter
Oh,
of seconds. Like that is
so
just
good.
so great. This is exactly why we love watching Big Brother. At least for
Oh,
me, this is
I
why I love
know.
watching Big Brother.
Oh, it's so good. So Corey says he just had the fight of the century with Jared, voted out as number
Putting
one
it lightly,
ally,
yeah.
voted out as number one ally, and now he just won the HOH, and this is
Yep.
truly the worst case scenario. What?
I've said, yep.
Oh,
We love a self-aware king.
I know. So Jared says they all thought this one would be easy, but nothing was getting him off that wall, and it's time for all of them to pay.
Mm-hmm.
Jag is annoyed that Jared has once again won HOH, and he has put him on the block 2 weeks ago and when he won and threw him under the bus, and he just has no idea where he stands this week.
Yeah, and I mean that's understandable because like Jag has kind of been, I feel like the scapegoat for Jared. I mean, he literally just tried to implicate Jag for something that he didn't do. So like, if I'm Jag, like yeah, I'm terrified that Jared won this HOH because he's probably gonna have my name out as a possibility.
Mm-hmm, definitely. So he goes to hug him, and she says this is the only possible outcome for her and Jared's life in the game after the have not debacle this morning, and they are going to learn to not mess with Jared's mama, and they don't even know. So Cam is feeling a bit uneasy with Jared, but not quite as uneasy with a few other people who got called out in the scuffle. America, Corey, and Jag. And it's just him against the world right now, and America and Corey talk, and she asks what he did, and he says he didn't do anything unreasonable, but he will be the target and hopes she's not the pawn. And he says it wasn't on him, but he started screaming at him, so he defended himself. But it makes it clear her name didn't come up that much.
I love that like she's not happy that like this fight happened. She's like, why
I
did you
know.
do this?
She's like, seriously?
Like generally, I just love their overall bond because they're so like they're always bickering. Like this
I
whole
know.
week they've been bickering, and it's so fun to watch.
Yeah, exactly. So Corey said, yeah, I just think they're very unserious.
They are. People take them too seriously, but yeah.
Yeah.
Like I saw people getting upset because they're like, "Oh, we're running the house." Like they don't actually think that. They're joking around.
I know. Like literally they're always joking with each other. So Corey says Jared is not his ally. If anything, he's targeting him, and he's hoping if he's sitting on the block on Thursday, he's not sitting next to America. He tells her they're coming for the both of them, especially him 100%, and she says she doesn't want him to go, and he says he doesn't want to either. So Matt and Cam are then told Hubila week is over, which means their punishments are also over, and it also means it's time for Josh to depart.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, this is so funny. So Matt is sad for Josh to go as they've shaved, showered, ate, and slept, lifted, and fought together. They did everything together, but it's time for him to go, and he's going to miss him, but thinks it's good to get some space away from him. And as he's putting Josh away, he ends up falling and hitting BB in the head.
Yeah, that was a great moment.
I am so happy they aired that. It's so
me too.
funny.
Me too. I'm just
So
you know, Big Brother made the right call in expelling Josh there. It was definitely the right call for that. You know, you hit Mimi in the head, that's it.
Oh my god, it's so funny. I think everyone was dying of laughter during that.
Oh, that was so good. But rip Josh, honestly. Like what do we
know.
want to say about Josh? There's a lot to say. He was in the house for a very long time. What do we want to say about him? Because he brought so much to this season.
He really made Matt break out of his shell, you know?
Oh yeah, he really did. Like their bond was unbreakable. I mean, he's still a tag, but like it just sucks that that Josh is no
I
longer here.
know.
He provided a lot of
They had to be stuck together, you know? It's
yeah.
kind of like Izzy and Suri.
Yeah, honestly. And I think that's good. I think Matt will recover. But it is sad to see Josh go for sure. So just a moment
Oh
of
yeah.
silence, you know.
Ugh,
He didn't
I
even make the
know.
cast graphic. Like that's how invisible Josh was this season. He didn't even
Yeah.
make the cast graphic. Like
I know, and he was only there for a week.
I
Wow.
know. But yeah, moment of silence. Hey, why are you laughing? This is a very serious moment. Moment of silence for Josh here. Okay, moment of silence over.
All right. So Suri goes to Jared and hugs him and says she is proud of him and asks what he's thinking. And he says at this point it's Corey in America, but regardless of what will happen, he wants Cameron out, which makes the most sense.
Yes and no. I think it makes sense that he wants Cameron out, but Jared, I think honestly should have recognized that like him and Cam are actually in similar positions, and I feel like
and also, yeah, because also like Cameron trusted him so much for some reason too.
If anything, I think he should be a lot more like suspicious of like Jag and Matt. I think those should be the two people that like he's the most like. If it's not gonna be Corey in America, I'm going for like Jag and Matt just because of that whole fight. I think going for Cam is a little short sighted on his end. Don't get me wrong, I want Cameron out, but like it doesn't really make sense for Jared to target him this week.
Exactly. Yeah. So Jared says Cameron is a really strong competitor and just got rid of one of his strong alliance members. He's a very dangerous player and he's highly considering backdooring him.
But he's also in the same exact position as you, Jared, but okay.
Ugh, I know. So Suri says she doesn't want Jared to make this obvious, but knows they have to backdoor Cameron as a way to get justice for Izzy.
Yeah.
Cameron congratulates Jared as he says no one expected him to do that. Jared tells him he feels he did him dirty and he was working with him and tried to and feels like he got burnt and he's done trusting people in this house and that the only person he trusts in this house is Blue.
Yeah, I mean, I think that Jared handles himself well in this conversation with Cameron.
He does.
It's just like you can tell Cameron is trying here. It's just not like Jared's just not budging.
Oh, I know. It's like, oh, sir. So Cam says he wants to come in and has things out calmly and apologize. I have no idea, but hash things out calmly and apologize. But once he figured that he recognized the opportunity to change up his entire strategy for who he wants to work with, it's time to talk game. So Cam says the only thing he can offer him at this point moving forward is if he doesn't touch the block this week at all, including a backdoor. He can promise the both of them safety and he will do everything next week. Any deal he has been offered, he has honored it.
Yeah, I thought honestly Cameron handled himself great in this conversation.
Yeah, he actually did well here.
He's like, listen, you trust Blue. Blue's the only person you trust. Okay, I don't have any beef with Blue. I kept Blue safe last week. I will make sure I keep you two safe next week. I will do everything I can to make sure that like you're in a good position. Like he did everything he could here. I honestly don't know why Jared wasn't more like impressed by, like more inclined to take this deal.
I know. I wish he did because that would have been spicy.
And if he was so worried about Suri, he should have also mentioned Suri.
I know. So Jared says he has a lot of options this week, but Cam is going after his mom and he wants to focus on any deal that can help the both of them this week. And Jared says he's really over the past and wants to focus on rebuilding and who he wants to rebuild with. And Cam says he will make this game happen. And Jared says he respects him enough to say he will consider it. And Cam says he knows it will be hard this whole week. And Jared says that's all about moving forward.
Yeah, even though he's not.
I know.
It's like the opposite of moving forward.
Yep. So it's time for the nomination ceremony, and in a surprise to no one, Jared does indeed decide to nominate Corey in America. He says to Corey that if he wants to villainize somebody, especially someone that everyone else considered him to be close to, he doesn't want to air their dirty laundry in front of people, because although they may be taking notes about what they're saying, realizing if he can do that to him, he could do that to anyone, and he tells America it's nothing personal.
I thought it was so funny how like he's like having all this shit towards Corey, and then America, oh, you're fine, it's nothing.
I know, he's like, He's like, I'm annoyed with Corey right now. How
Yeah.
dare you fight with me?
Which is such like a 180 from like the previous HOH reign where he was like so anti-America, and now it's just like fuck Corey.
I know. I will say, like, yes, he's had a lot of misogynistic comments, but technically everyone he's nominated were men, and then just America as a pawn.
I mean, yeah, I'll give him that. It doesn't excuse what he said, but yeah.
Yeah, I feel like I hope production told Cameron, Jared, and Matt.
I feel like they did because like they've almost completely like they've almost completely like neutered
Like,
any sort of
yeah.
comments that they've been saying. Like all the misogyny that was going on in the house has basically been has been gone since if they did talk to them. So I feel like they did.
Yeah, exactly. They like. I hope they probably like talk to them in like their production chats or production chats. They're the DRs.
Production. This is
production. This is not an org. No, no, no. So
nothing against orgs, but like this is not an org.
So Jared says his sights are set on Cameron, and he hopes he can make a big move this week. And America says, though she's angry and sad, she's still hopeful one of them can pull out the veto win.
Yeah.
Corey says the truth is he didn't like Jared's speech and found it very condescending as he's continuing to lie about everything. He knows he can pull this win out for himself and he will do his best to protect America and will be here next week.
Listen, I know people don't like how fucking snarky Corey is, but I'm here for it. It gives me like major like Kevin Jacobs vibes, and I'm here for it.
He has like a very funny sass and snark to him.
Yeah, and I'm very much here for that. But yeah,
I mean, honestly, so is his brother. They're both very trolly.
Yeah, just what a fantastic episode all around. There's
good.
So much to love about this one. Like, this is exactly why we watch Big Brother. It's for episodes like this, and I really couldn't have asked for anything better with this one.
It's amazing. But I will say the next Wednesdays is also amazing too, but not it's definitely not as top tier, but it's still like pretty high up there.
Yeah, there's some things I would have liked to see in Wednesdays, but there's still a lot that we get to see that I was happy about.
Because I remember when we rewatched it to finish the notes, I actually gave it I went from like a B to a B+ on Serialized.
Yeah. Well, it was funny because we were trying to watch Wednesdays live, and then I accidentally finished Sundays, not realizing I finished Sundays. So I was like, "Wait, why is Jared making his nominations in this episode?" I was like, "Oh, this is literally Sundays."
And also, it's sometimes hard to write notes live just because you can't pause it.
Yeah. Anyway, we're gonna go ahead and start and talk about Wednesdays here. So, which also, don't get too used to us talking about Wednesday because there's no veto episode next week, which we'll talk about.
So wait, what's the next episode? Sunday?
It's literally just Sunday and Thursday. There's no episode Tuesday or Wednesday.
Oh wow! So it's only gonna be. So we're only talking about 2 episodes again.
Yeah. So I mean, not gonna make a difference. This season's fucking crazy. Yeah. But
I know. It's going to be so long.
Yes. Jared says that he has nominated Corey and America, and though America is someone he's never trusted and Corey has had a big falling out, Cam is still his #1 target. He's positive he will still be targeting his mom moving forward, which he never asked Cameron about this. Like, he never asked him. He says, are you still interested in targeting Suri? Like, that's literally all he needed to do, and he didn't do that. This is literally like the problem that both Cameron, Red, and Jared have had, is that they don't ask people the questions that they need to ask. It's so annoying.
Oh my God.
So Cameron says on the bright side, he gets to finally sit through a nomination ceremony without seeing his face on the memory wall. The downside and his worry are that his gut feeling is telling him that he's probably getting backdoored, which I'll give him that at least. I'll give him the fact that
at least he's self-aware.
Yeah, he's not like, oh, everything went great, I'm fine.
Like, and like, I don't even think he doesn't even like look mad. He's like, I'm just a comm threat, blah blah blah.
He's recognized it, yeah.
And I'm unexpected, so I mean, it makes sense. Yeah.
So Corey says he's nominated next to America with his former final 2 in Jared, and he's not surprised they've had a massive blow up. And right now, the thing to worry about is the veto, and hope one of them comes off the block this Thursday so they can both survive. America also is sad to go up with their showmans, but also feels it's iconic, as many former players have gone up with their showmances and survived and won. And she thinks it's actually a little romantic and has spiced things up a bit, so this is off her bucket list. I mean, she's not wrong. Like Rachel, Jordan, like people like that. But you know,
true.
Still not something that you should be like excited about, but you know.
No, not at all. I just
But
think
mean,
it's hilarious. I think it is funny though.
It shows the fan that she's like excited about this. So
oh yeah, definitely.
America goes to pitch to Jared and says, in terms of game, everything has been blown up. So she just wants to know where he stands in all of this. And Jared says that there's no secret at this point. He's going after Cameron. His only real chance of staying is getting picked in veto. She tells him she's worried it'll be her or Corey on Thursday. He says that will only happen if Cameron is picked in veto and wins. As of right now, his only target in this game. Jared then tells everyone else he is his target, which is a fine thing to do, but he never like throws out any other like possible suggestions as like,
I know
or anything.
I feel like if say like Cameron won veto and say one of them. No, I thought it'd be Bowie.
I mean, possibly, but I think Jared has like an axe to grind when it comes to Jag. So I think
it'd be one of the two. I think.
Yeah. So, I mean, he even talked about it. So, America's unsure whether or not to trust him as she isn't on the best terms with him. So she needs to win this veto in order to secure her safety. Corey then goes to Jared and says that he's going to open to anything no matter what, and he thinks their bridge is more burnt than most, but if he's around next week, it's not nearly as black and white as he may think. He says he's expecting this week to be very turbulent if he makes it through, and a lot of it will have to do with him, and that will go a long way. And we get this really funny DR where he says that he just wants Jared to know that next week if he's
so good.
He's safe, which is obviously a lie, but it's important to know that he doesn't want Cam to play in this veto, but if he does and wins, he really wants to make sure like he's on good terms. So he goes to Cameron and America and tells him that if they were to come off, he would be in trouble. I will say something Jared did do a good job with is making Corey feel good in this conversation. But I mean, the bridge is already burnt at that point. Like Jared's trying to act like, oh, we're fine. That was just a fight. We can get past it. But like Corey isn't looking to get past it. I think Jared needed to like admit that he was like wrong in this conversation. Even if he doesn't think he was wrong, I think he should have just told Corey, yeah, I'm wrong. And I think that would have actually gone a long way. So, I think that definitely would have helped. So Corey doesn't want Cameron winning this veto, but he wants to make sure that if he does, he takes one of them off. Cameron then says that if he pulls house guest choice and chooses him, they actually have a better shot forward, and the odds of getting someone out are much higher. So Corey says if they survive, they can do this thing. Cam then says that if there's a backdoor plan in motion, he needs to play in the veto, but he's going to do everything from here on out that benefits him. And if using it on Corey or America benefits him, he will do that. And if not using it on them benefits him, he will also do that. And again, I'm going to give Cam some credit here. This was a good pitch. I think, honestly, all of his pitches this week are
he's actually been very good this week, honestly. Yeah.
It doesn't change the fact that he's still really bad at this game, but I think his pitches
I feel
have actually
honestly like if someone like a Cam won veto, I think he'd save America.
Probably. I think that I think he probably would have done what Jag did, like, give me both your pitches and I'll figure it out that way. But I think he probably would have leaned towards America, especially because America literally just woke him up pretty much.
Yeah. Like so they were kind of working together-ish.
Despite the fact that he still trusts Jared for some reason.
I know.
So Jag says Jared and Blue are in a showmance, but clearly he's been lying because he found out he's in another alliance besides the one he's in with him and Blue. So he needs to let her know. And I will say, Blue is someone that has been impressing me.
She's been so good this week too.
Her game is admittedly kind of confusing. I don't fully understand what she's trying to do, but she's very much waking up. And I've been saying from the jump, like, as if Blue ever manages to wake up and realizes that like Jared is not beneficial for her game, I think her game's going to turn around. And I feel like I don't think turning around.
Yeah, I mean, like, he's good for her for now because he trusts her, but like eventually I can see her turning.
Yeah, like she's at least like figuring it out. So, and I will say, Blue in this episode was tolerable for me. I actually didn't hate her DRs for once. So,
oh no, I thought she was great this week.
Yeah,
and I like her DRs. She's funny.
I don't know. I just think she tries too hard. But
no,
Blue says
she's literally the definition of Gen Z.
I don't know. Whenever Blue talks, it feels like a scripted DR to me, and I just don't like that because because a lot of the DRs are like very natural this season. Blues, it comes off as like they told me to say this, and it's not working. So, but the difference is they didn't tell her to say it. She's just trying to like play this character.
I like when she like fakes it up with people and like gets all emotional, even if it's just fake.
She does well with
so
that.
Good.
I just don't like it when she like goes in and like just starts really just like overdoing it. It just I'm not a fan of her in some of the DRs, but I liked her this time around. So Jack tells Blue that Jared has been lying about being part of a different alliance, and Corey told him he found out and he's been knowing about Seven Deadly Sins, which shocked him. And he lets her know that they were obviously not in for real, which they didn't know about at all. And Blue says that it definitely blindsided her game quite a bit to know people are working in her alliance. Specifically, Jared could potentially be in another alliance without her in it. She doesn't even know what to believe and says this game is so hard. Something they did not show that I wish they did is literally after Jared won HOH, she went to Jag like in tears saying that like Jared was telling her to put up Jag and that Jared had like isolated her from like the rest of the house. So
I wish they showed that.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think they just didn't have time in Sunday's episode. But while I appreciate the fact that like they show this conversation, I wish they would have shown what got them to have this conversation. Because Blue basically woke up and said, like, I don't want to do this anymore. Like, I want to move forward with you in America, kind of made this free of sorts. And that's why Blue's in the position that she's in now. So Jag tells her proximity to Jared is going to hurt her, which she shakes her head in agreement. And Blue, we get this very kind of uncomfortable conversation between Blue and Jared. I'm not going to lie. This was kind of a hard scene to watch. But Blue tells Jared that she was told he had another alliance, which he questions who told her. She just responds with people, which he's not thrilled by. And lets him know who she trusts him the most.
Okay, I will say this conversation frustrates me so much.
Yeah,
I didn't like the way he was talking to her.
The way he talks to her, the way he's not giving her any answers, the way they're literally just going around in circles. It's just, it's so bad. It's giving me major like Ty and Claudia vibes, and I just not a fan. Not a fan at all. Like another reason we need Jared gone, like generally. So Jared lets her know Corey told him that
I will say I do think they're cuter than Ty and Claudia, at least.
I mean, I guess.
Because Ty and Claudia had like no chemistry.
At least they seem to like each other. I'll give them that. Like Ty and Claudia literally had no chemistry.
No, they were literally just like, ooh, let's just use each other for the game.
Yeah, it's just I just don't like the way he talks to her. But Jared lets her know that Corey told him that they had an alliance called For Real, but he doesn't even remember. And Jared says For Real is something he never even considered to be a real alliance.
Sure, Jared.
And I don't understand. And here's the thing. I don't understand why Jared is keeping up with this lie when he just told Jag like the opposite. So it says besides the fact he cares about Blue more than most people in that alliance anyway. And Jared tells her it's not a thing and never has been, especially now, and asks what else she's being told, which she doesn't say anything. And Jared isn't thrilled by what she's doing and tells her that this makes him feel like he can't trust her. And I will say, this is something I have been impressed by with Blue this week, is that she's not telling Jared as much.
She's literally just questioning him. That's it.
Yeah. And she says that it's fine.
But like all he's doing is like gaslighting her.
Yeah, well, I mean that's part of Big Brother, but like this is like icky gaslighting that
this isn't good.
Yeah. So he tells her that doesn't sit well with him at all. She asks him how they know about their alliance, which he's confused by. And she tells him that it's important to at least tell the rest of the alliance members, which he doesn't think is that important. And he doesn't get why this scares people. So she tells him it's just one of those things would be nice to know, which he doesn't think is a big deal. And she tells him it's like a group thing, not just him, which he gets, but he tells her to calm down. And she doesn't like that he just said that, which, I mean, you shouldn't tell someone, you shouldn't tell a girl to calm down. That's just like not cool.
That's not good. That's gross.
Everyone is allowed to like have their own emotions and just no. He tells her that she's raising her voice for no reason, which she says that she's just talking regularly. He lets her know he's still feeling some type of way because it's really rubbed him the wrong way, which she's confused by since she was just asking him questions. And Blue says that his response was ass. And I agree. It was ass.
Yeah, it was. It was terrible.
And while she wants to believe him and knows a secret of his that is detrimental to his game, she doesn't understand why he'd lie to her, as she could blow up his game right here, right now. I really liked Blue in this episode. I'm not going to lie. She had some really good moments.
She's so good. Like, I think Blue and Corey really are like two of the stars of this week.
I would say so, yeah. I mean, both of them are playing astronomical.
And then Jared had his moments, and same with Cameron.
Yeah, for sure. But all right, so we get to this really good scene with Mimi and Felicia that I really liked, where Mimi says that after all the madness that happened before the live eviction, she's realized that she needs to make strong connections with someone that she actually trusts, and that person, as of right now, is Felicia, as people have been trying to play the both of them, and they need to stick together. So
I will say, like, if they're final two, I'm here for it.
Oh my God, yeah, that'd be so good.
It'd be amazing.
Yeah, Mimi talks to Felicia and says that she wants to talk to her about the vote. She says her plan was to always keep her and Corey, and then pulled her into a room and basically talks about, what Corey had said to her. And she was like, okay, because she was already planning to do that. So Felicia talks about how Jared was supposed to get that veto and take her off the block, and he didn't. Sari was so worried about being backdoor that she convinces Jared to not take her off the block, but she thinks that she's final two with Jared, and Mimi says that she believes so. And I like that Mimi is like clarifying all this to her, kind of, because no one is really giving Felicia that respect of like, this is why you didn't go. Like, Felicia didn't understand why it didn't end up going. So she says she just found out that and we get this great confessional with Felicia that makes me so
it's amazing.
She says she just found out her besties aren't her besties. She really thought these two were her closest allies. So to learn they didn't have her back, she's so disgusted with that. Felicia just like never stops in terms of entertainment.
She's amazing.
She's such an amazing cast, and
I'm so glad she survived.
Yeah, like, it sucks that Izzy's gone, but like Felicia would have been, I think, the more devastating one just for these confessionals.
Yeah, like all of her like one-liners. Oh
my God,
good.
Yeah, it's so good. Yeah, basically, Felicia tells her that she does believe when push comes to shove, Sari is going to leave her if it's going to further her game. And she says she is her girl and she's the one she wants to sit in the final two with. And she agrees. Felicia then asks if she wants a final two. And she says, yes, they are a genuine final two. They will hold each other to the end. And Mimi says she would be honored to sit next to her in a final two chair and will be over the moon either way that it went.
I love this.
Says that there's a line that you draw with people you really trust and work with, and they've crossed that line. So Mimi is now her final two, and they will stay loyal to each other. And I love this. I love
it so much.
Have solidified something. I hope it ends up going somewhere. I really like the idea.
Honestly, with those two, I don't think they'd turn on each other.
I don't think they turn on each other. I just don't know if Felicia's going to make it. Like, generally, I don't.
Like, I do see, the only thing I see is, say they're both in, like, final three or whatever, and, like, maybe whoever wins final HOH, maybe they cut each other just, like, because to try and win, but that's the only thing I see.
That's the thing. I don't know if Felicia's going to be able to make it that far, because I don't know if
we'll see.
I just, at least to me, I can't, the thing with this week is I can't seem to gauge how much these people want Felicia in their game still. Like, do they care about her in their game? Because they didn't flip the vote to keep Felicia. They flipped the vote because they realized Izzy needed to go. It wasn't to keep Felicia. And I'm just kind of wondering, like, how much longer is Felicia going to stay in this game? I think she, for sure, is obviously making it to jury. I don't think she has any tonight.
I don't know. I feel like with Felicia, I'm getting, like, maybe, like, 8th or 7th vibes from her.
Yeah, I could see that. Something tells me she's not going to be here that much longer, but we'll have to see. I would love
we'll see
if this final two actually happened. I'd
love it's so good.
So much. Just right now.
Another girly final two that was created this week is Blue in America.
Oh, yeah. I don't know if they're going to show that on tonight's episode, but yeah, Blue in America are also getting close, which is so weird, by the way. I don't think we've
I think
scenario.
I think it's because maybe they both would cut their showmances.
Yeah, which people are calling them like the new June and Allison. I don't know if I'd go that far, but like,
yeah, I wouldn't say that. I would say, I'm here for them being a final two.
yeah, because like I don't understand Blue's game. I don't know how much of it is intentional and how much of it is just her just like doing what she's doing.
I think America gives me like 6th or 5th place vibes, but I do see Blue at least making it to 4.
America's going far if she survives this vote, I think.
Yeah, we'll see.
As long as she survives this vote, I think America's going to go super far. That's at least my opinion. But yeah, in terms of like Blue and America, their whole final two, we'll see where that goes. I think they're probably going to show something about it tonight, but
I hope so.
So anyway.
Anyway, so
talk finally.
all good. So Blue tells Matt and Jag they need to align as a 3, which Jag tells them he'd rather them decide where they truly want their loyalties to lie and how they want to navigate that, because at some point they're going to have to decide, which Blue agrees with and mentions showing their cards, which I'm here for this 3.
Oh yeah, I think it's good for her to be in that 3, but make no mistake, I mean, she's going first in that 3. If any of those 3 are on the block, it's going to be Blue that goes. So I think
because Jag and Matt are more loyal to each other.
Even at that though, Matt is not as loyal to Jag as they're making it seem like in the episode. Matt will cut Jag if he needs to.
I could honestly see that if they're in like final 3, I could see Matt winning final HOH and cutting him.
Yeah, if it's a final 3 of Matt, Blue, and Jag, I think Matt takes Blue. Like generally,
I could see that. Yeah.
So...
Do you think Matt would win? Probably.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Blue could win against Jag. I don't think she wins against Matt.
Yeah, Matt would be a hard one. Same with against like Mimi.
Yeah, I think those two are like pretty much, honestly, kind of locked right now.
Oh yeah, they're in such good spots.
Yeah.
So Jag says he, Matt, and Blue have realized there's a Corey and America side and a Jared and Cerise side to this house, and so they have to navigate this week very carefully and figure out who they want to work with moving forward.
Mm-hmm.
So Blue tells them about her conversation with Two, is what she calls Jared.
I love that she calls him that.
Oh, it's so funny. Which Jag tells her Matt can attest personally to the fact that Jared lied. She tells them moving forward, for her in particular, she needs to just maneuver very carefully. Like if they rock with Corey in America, it'll put her in a sticky situation, but she's all here for it. And regardless if she goes with that situation or not, she's going to only tell Jared a handful of things. And she says whatever they want to do is with her only and not with him. And when she boils it down to who she fully trusts, it's with them.
Yeah.
I like this conversation. It was a really good one.
Yeah, it was really good. I think that Blue is in a significantly better spot than she's been in this game. I will say, I don't know how long it's going to last because it's Blue.
I don't know why, but I am getting like 4th place vibes from her.
I want to say that, but it's also Blue, and Blue has been like very inconsistent this entire game, so I just don't have a lot of faith in Blue.
It's the Gatorade for me.
Just don't have a lot of faith in her. So I want to. I've been impressed by her this week. I think she's put in a lot of effort that's good. I just don't know how long it's going to last, especially with a double coming up tonight. I feel like I don't know how long it's going to last.
I'm kind of rooting for her to win HOH just because it would be spicy.
It would be.
But I don't know. Like, I'm rooting for any of them just because it'd be so good.
Yeah.
So Blue says she's going to prioritize the game over him. She's a cutthroat bitch, and no boy is going to come between her and 75K. And I love that part. I love that.
It's kind of it gave me like the opposite of nobody comes between me and my man from like
yes.
Really. It's like the opposite.
Literally. That's so good. I loved it. So, but he is a good asset and ally, so she will be trying to keep him for as long as possible. And then when she gets to chop them off, it will be for him.
I mean, I think that Jared definitely wants Blue in his endgame for sure, obviously, but like he's not a good ally. He's not a good ally.
I feel like he probably wants like Suri and Blue.
Yeah, but I think he thinks that he'll win against Blue and not Suri.
Yeah.
Which
probably.
I think he's probably right about. I mean, actually, no, I don't think he's right about. I don't think Jared wins against anybody right now.
Yeah, it's really hard to say. But I will say if Blue, Jared, and whoever are in final 3, I could see Blue winning final HOH and cutting him, like pulling a John and Netta. But like the other way around, like the Netta cuts John.
Yeah.
Which would be so good. But I could also see that with like America and Corey too.
Mm-hmm.
So Jag talks to Matt and that they obviously trust each other in blue, but when it comes to who they want to move forward with, it needs to be Corey and America. So Matt says he could really go both ways as they're in an advantage where they can play both sides. And Jag says when it comes to trusting people, he doesn't trust Jared. And when they win, they can backdoor his ass. I will say Jag and Matt are kind of a dangerous duo right now.
Yeah, definitely. And also they both win a lot of comps, so like you gotta be worried about that.
I mean, well, Matt's only won the power comp so far, but
Matt would have won the veto last week if he didn't choose the Duamel meet.
I know. He's just like, I just want to spend time with Josh.
Yeah. Well, I mean, again, Josh was a king, and it sucks that he's gone.
I mean, I think it'd be way more fun for him over Jared.
Yeah. Moment of silence for Josh once again. All right, moment of silence over.
Oh, yeah. So Jag says it's so obvious to him that Jared, Felicia, and Sari were in another alliance and didn't tell him about it. So they have shown over and over that they are not good alliance members, so he doesn't know why they would make the same mistake and work with them again. And Matt says the idea of working with Corey in America does sound good, but at the same time, he's very close with Sari. But one thing is for sure, he's riding or dying with Jag, and that's his guy wherever he goes. And he will this week. They just got to make sure Cam goes, and then next week the clock is ticking for Jared.
Yeah, I mean that's basically what's going to happen.
Yep. So Jag tells Corey in America, isn't it awesome being on the block? Which she says she gets it now. And he tells them whichever of the two of them gets house guest choice first to choose him. And Corey assures him he will. And if he's already picked, he will choose Matt. So America says everything just has to align perfectly. And Jag says if they can get Cam out this week, they survive next week and Jared can't play HOH.
I love the way Jag handled this. Basically saying, choose me, I'll save one of you. And it also brings Corey and America closer to him. So if they have any like wariness of like Jag, now they kind of have to stay close to Jag because he just saved one of them.
Yeah, Jag was also really good this week. Like it was really like his redemption.
Yeah. I mean, he still needs to stop talking about the fucking 10-0 vote because it doesn't matter.
I know. He just needs to keep moving forward.
In fact, they don't show this in the episode. I wish they did, but something that Jag did this week that I thought was very questionable was instead of making Jared think that like he doesn't trust him, but he trusts Corey, he instead wanted to make Jared think he trusts him and not Corey by literally still having the 7 deadly sins intact, even if it's now like the 6 deadly sins.
It's like, sir, what are you doing? It is a dead alliance.
I mean, it's smart that like he's like tricking Jared that way, but like if Jared, if he didn't win veto here, this might have not gone so well.
Yeah, no, not at all.
Yeah.
So Corey says after all the shenanigans on Thursday, he feels like he can work with obviously America, but also Matt and Jag. This is the group that can carry him forward, and they can all work together as long as they survive this Jared HOH. And the way they do so is making so Cam gets backdoored.
Yeah.
And then, all right, this is a very entertaining veto comp, except for the feet.
Yeah, definitely. There's a lot of feet in this competition.
Oh wait, sorry, it's the veto picking. Oh my god, I read that wrong. But
yeah.
anyway,
I will pick people yet.
Yeah, it says it's time to pick players for the veto competition. I read that as it's time for the veto competition. I'm an idiot.
Wow, what the hell?
I know, right? Wow, how dare I?
Ally's canceled. Ally's canceled.
Oh yeah, definitely. Woo! X out Ally. But anyway.
Okay. All right, you're back.
Oh, okay. Anyway, it's time to pick players for the veto competition. And Cameron says he's still a little nervous because he still has a lingering feeling he's going to be backdoored. So he's hoping and praying his name gets pulled out of the box so he gets a chance to play for the veto. I also wrote all this because it's just pretty important.
Yeah.
Jared says last time he was HOH, he tried to get Cameron out, and he won the veto. So this time he improved his plan, and this time he's going to backdoor him. So he's really hoping he doesn't get drawn, so his plan is a success.
I mean, yeah, it's definitely smart to like backdoor somebody if they don't get chosen for veto. But again, Jared should not want to go after Cameron this week.
I know. He should have wanted to go for like Corey.
Yeah, or Jag.
Yeah, based on like the fight and everything.
Yeah.
So Jared draws first and picks Bowie. And then Corey then draws house guest choice. Corey says he knows they told Cameron they were going to pick him if they got house guest choice, but he can't select him. Him and America's survival in this game depends on him being backdoored. So Corey then chooses Jag, which is what they were talking about. Perfect. Cameron says Corey ultimately decided that picking him to play was a bad idea, so he guesses his only shot at playing this veto is in America's hands. So America says she's hoping to pick literally anybody but Cameron. So Suri says she knows she's been a bad girl and she knows she's been naughty, but she doesn't want Cameron's name picked. That was so funny.
I love when she was like, have Christmas come early this year.
Yes, come on, Santa, fix that for me. So good. So
but not Christmas Abbott.
No, God, no.
I don't like her.
No, she's terrible.
Yeah, she
so America draws next and picks Cameron, much to everyone's dismay.
Again, just they are killing it in terms of like the one person they don't want to win wins, and the way they edit it is just top tier every time.
Oh, it's amazing. It's so good.
Yeah.
So Jared is now worried but wants to fight that much harder for him and his mom. Suri goes to Jared and says that in the event, not my Siri just opening up on my phone. Anyway, Suri goes to Jared and says that in the event that Cameron wins and takes America down, she wants him to put her up as nobody would be expecting it. And in the case he wins, she wants him to put her up and let her go because that might gain a lot of favor with him in this house and will repair him and Cameron's relationship, which was honestly like heartbreaking to watch.
Yeah, let's talk about this because this was a big point of contention over the weekend. A lot of people were saying that like, oh, how dare Suri want to sacrifice herself for her son and things like that. And it's like, first of all,
it definitely makes sense because like your children are a top priority, but I mean I don't think she would actually like sacrifice herself.
Yeah. And first of all, like she never said that like she was gonna like completely leave.
No.
She just said like in the event that Cam was to win veto to put her up because I think Suri has this perception and really says a lot about just how
Huh? Oh. Did your connection cut out? I think his connection cut out, yes. Anyway, we can continue, obviously, when he's back. Hmm? Oh, he says his mic got unplugged. Oh, that's so weird. Yeah, because I couldn't hear him. That's so odd. Oh my god. But he'll be back shortly. But I hope you guys are enjoying this episode. It's been so much fun to talk about. We only have a little bit left. So just a little bit like before the veto comp and then after that and just a few predictions and things like that. So it shouldn't be too much longer. But it's been so much fun to talk about this week, and just every week it's just so crazy and wild and chaotic. It's just like that's why there's so much to talk about. He'll be back shortly. He's just trying to fix his mic and everything. Oh yeah, you're back.
That was fucking weird. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, I was like, all of a sudden you like cut out, and I'm like, why can't I hear him? But I can see him.
Okay,
But
I was trying to say that, like, yeah, I was trying to say that, like, I think that it's not necessarily that, like, you know, people were trying to say that, like, oh, Suri is like giving her game up for her son and things like that, and they were trying to like go in this whole thing of like, why would she do that? It's unfair and things like that. And it's like, one, this is her son. I think if it was literally anybody else, she wouldn't do this. So
like I'm sure she, like literally, I'm sure she'd say that to all her children.
Yeah. Two, this really was only going to happen if Cameron was to win veto to put her up. And also, oh, this is what I was trying to say. I think it says a lot about the kind of person that Suri is and like how nice of a person she is. That she generally believes that Jared is where he is because of her. When in reality, it's the other way around. She is where he is because of him. But because of the fact that, like, you know, she's a mother, she's always going to see herself as like, you know, this is why he turned out this way and things like that. She's going to blame herself for that. And I think that you know, I totally get it. You know, like, I think that that's something that people just have to recognize. Like, this is her son. It's a little different if it was like a close ally, but this is literally her son. She wants to better his game. She made it pretty clear here that his game matters more than anything else to her. So it's like, I don't blame her for wanting to tap out. I will say, it does make me worried that if her and Jared go on the block, she'll ask to be voted out. But we don't have to think about that until it happens.
I don't think she's going to do that. I think they're just going to tell that they're mother and son. But yeah, I don't know how, like, people, I don't think people are going to be annoyed. Like, I feel like it's not really going to change much. They'll probably be like, oh, it makes sense since they were so close.
I think people are already speculating it. So I think, like, it's, you know, I don't think they're going to be too shocked if that happens, if she does end up doing that. But yeah, I don't understand why people had such an issue with this. I think people are really just looking to nitpick anything they possibly can when it comes to Suri. And I feel like, again, yes, they're mother and son, but like, because they're mother and son, it takes a much different meaning than if they're just like closely aligned. So I don't blame her for wanting to do this at all. And also, again, if this was Jared in Suri's shoes, he wouldn't even admit the fact that he did anything wrong. He would be like, oh no, we're fine. So
yep, exactly.
You know, so really just shows the difference.
Oh, it really does.
It also really makes you wish that Suri wouldn't have been in that fucking kayak so she could have actually like fixed things.
I know, because that really like screwed a lot of things up.
Oh yeah, it ruined like basically everything. It changed the game in like so many ways.
Oh yeah. So Suri says if Cameron wins the veto, he's going to stay, and Jared will not be able to play for HOH next week. So maybe it's a good idea for him to try to repair whatever relationship he has with Cameron. And if that means giving him what he wants and putting her up, then she's willing to do it to further Jared's game. She assures him she's okay with it, and he refuses, and she says it might be best for his game. Jared says he hears what she's saying and is trying to do and like what she's trying to do there, but regardless of the circumstances, he will never put her on the block. Yeah, I don't think he's that person like who would pull a Sierra Easton and vote for his mom.
No, I just don't think Jared has that in him. I think Jared's too emotional of a player to do that.
Yeah, he would never go for her. Nope.
Yeah, and I will give him that. I'll give Jared that.
I mean, yeah.
I did think for a second that Jared was going to be an idiot and be like, maybe I should do this. No, don't even entertain it. Even if she says it, don't do it. Talk her out of it.
Yeah, literally. So she says she'd rather him have a better chance, and he says he can't do it and would rather just go home, and she tells him to think about it. Cerie says she would always be willing to lay her life on the line for Jared in real life or in the BB house. However, this ploy would only be if Cameron won the veto and stayed in this house another week. And right now, what they're focusing on is him not doing so.
Yes.
So,
yeah, so I do think it's smart to think about like every outcome as well. I think that's something that not enough people do in Big Brother, and so I think it was smart to Cerie to like think ahead.
Oh, definitely. So it's time for the veto competition. Football season is kicking off in the Scrambleverse, which makes sense because it's football season. And they've been drafted.
Yay.
So that's actually a sport I don't mind. Like, I don't watch it that much, but it's actually pretty fun.
I fall asleep.
If that's more like golf and certain things.
Oh no,
so
sports are boring to me.
If they want to be the MVP and win the POV, they need to retrieve a football and from the receptacle on the 50-yard line and spike it in the end zone faster than the competition. When they hear the whistle, the feet on the field will start spraying sweat all over the field. They must collect. Would you like being sprayed with foot sweat?
I mean, it's not actually foot sweat, so you know.
No, it's probably just like water.
Yeah. It's probably like really like it's probably like hot water or something. So it's like sweat.
Probably.
Sweat is usually like hot.
Yeah, it could be. So they must collect the spraying sweat in their helmet and then pour it into the receptacle at the 50-yard line. They'll need to repeat this step until they fill the receptacle enough to float up to their football to the top. Once their receptacle is brimming with funky fluid, remove their football, run it to the stunt zone, and spike it to stop their clock. The player who floats up their football, removes it, and spikes it in the fastest time will clinch the golden power of veto. And a little tip from the playbook, if they can figure out the sweaty sequence, they may be able to fill their receptacle even faster. Which honestly,
a lot of feet.
I know. It was a lot of feet, but overall, it was actually a fun and entertaining comp.
It was fun, but like there was a lot of feet.
I know. I'm like, I don't know how to feel here if I was playing.
It's like it's what we've been saying all season, like the feet and like the what are the other things they've been obsessed with all season, like kicking yourself in the butt.
Yeah,
and, like,
feet and butts and farts and all that shit. Snot.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah.
God.
Although I will say the clip going around of everybody sleeping and Cerie farting like a machine gun is like the funniest thing I've ever seen.
It's so good. That is amazing. It's so funny.
Yeah.
So throughout the comp, there are little blimps on the screen showing everyone's stats, such as how many times Corey has been in Have Not or how many times Jag has been nominated. And then there were some others as well.
I thought that was a funny touch.
I think for Jared's, it said like mom's in the game or something.
America said Showmance's won.
Yeah, it's so good.
Yeah, I thought it was, and they did something different for everyone. I don't know what they did.
Yeah.
I don't remember what they did for Bowie's. Probably something like Vegemite or something.
I forgot. I have to go back and look at that, but I didn't get to look at that one too closely.
Yeah. But I thought that was like, out of everything with this comp, that was probably my favorite part of it. I thought it was really creative the way they did like the little games.
Oh, I thought it was really fun to watch. So enjoyable.
Yeah.
So once again, they only show the top 3 times for some reason, which I find really annoying.
Yeah, I don't know why they keep doing that.
I don't even know. It's like, it's stupid. They should just show all of them. Like, it's not going to take that long.
Yeah, BB Can does it. Like,
yeah. So in third place with a time of 6 minutes is Jared. Jared says he wasn't able to secure the dub today, but the most important thing here is that Cameron doesn't come in first place.
Yeah, which I was like, oh God.
I know. So Cameron says he's just hoping that the second place name is not his, because if he's not second place, he knows he got first and has to win this thing.
Mm-hmm.
So in second place with a time of 5:22 is Cameron.
Yes.
He was so close.
That's where it ends. That's where it ends right there.
Yep. His comp record, his like comp wins record is out the door. So
yeah, because I think we all pretty much knew like this was like pretty much do or die for Cam, and he didn't get it, and that was pretty much it. And the same is gonna go for Jared tonight. Like if Jared does not win veto tonight, he's fucked.
Definitely. So Cerie is so happy Cameron is second place. She feels like she hit the lottery. So in first place and the winner of the POV with a time of 4:43 is Jag.
Yes. I mean, now we're manifesting what you said he was going to be preseason.
A veto king. Like, he just gives like veto king vibes, and like I thought it was just so wholesome how like happy and excited he was. Because he definitely kind of needed it because he could have been backdoored if Cameron won.
And not only was he excited, but literally the entire house was like dancing around that
I
Cameron was
know.
leaving. Like everybody was excited. And I
Oh,
wish they
that
would have
was
shown
so-
that. I wish they would have shown all of them like dancing.
Oh,
Because
it
they
was
were
so
all like
funny.
excited about this. So
Oh yeah, it was so funny. And then
Yeah.
you're the next part.
yeah, so we get a little bit here about like what's going to happen. So Jag is really happy he got his second veto of the summer. He can't describe, even though it's not summer anymore, but yeah, he can't describe how excited he is because it's a surreal feeling. The hard part is deciding who he's taking down and who has to sit up there next to Cameron. America and Corey then debate back and forth in confessionals on why Jag should use the veto on them and are happy the plan to backdoor Cameron should be a go. I thought this was a really funny segment, just seeing them go back and forth.
I know. They're like, they should save me.
Yeah. Yeah, and this is the one thing I wish they showed in the episode. There was a segment where Jag said, like, I'm going to pick whoever gives me the better pitch. And, like, Corey was trying to convince America to stay on the block. America was trying to convince Corey to stay on the block. I would have liked to see that. Because
I know. I would have loved to. That's the only thing. I wish they showed more of that. Like,
because
this
how
episode.
often do we see a showman's like going back and forth? Like, you should stay on the block. No, you should stay on the block. Like, it's so much funnier that way.
So good.
Normally it's like, I'm going to sacrifice myself for you, but that's not happening. And I thought
it also makes sense that like he would probably pick Corey because he picked him for veto.
Yeah. So Cameron's feeling like this isn't the worst case scenario. He's been in worse positions. He's not sure what Jag will do with the veto, just sure he will listen, which is all he needs to convince him and Jared that it's in their best interest to keep him off the block. And again, I'll give him the credit. This was a good pitch, I thought. I thought he did a good job giving this pitch. So I was impressed by how he handled himself here. And basically he talks to them and says he's completely understanding of the fact that he's public enemy number one in this house. And if they use the veto, he's going to go on the block, which he feels like that's the plan. And he tells them if he stays here, and Matt says he can see the way things have been going is that they've been taking up people that have been winning comps. Cam says he will be their hired gunslinger, go in there, burn every competition possible that they need him to do, and says the smartest dude in the house is sitting on the block right now. If they can just get him out of here now, it will make all of the sense in the world, which, again, I agree. Like, Corey has proven to be someone who's really smart. You want to go for him now. So
definitely. He did really good there.
Yeah, he tells them he holds true that when he makes a deal with somebody, he holds true to it and will do that. I think what's hurting Cam here is that he has broken deals before. You know, he told America he wasn't going to put her on the block and things like that, and then was thinking of potentially targeting her. You know, the whole thing with him in Red is not helping his case at all because not enough people know what actually happened. So they think that him and Red were like on bad terms. So I think that's what's hurting Cam here. But I don't blame him for that. I think he handled himself well this week.
Definitely. I think he did too.
I think this was actually a pretty good pitch. So Jared says he can pitch to him all day long, but he doesn't need his protection. Corey is just not as dangerous as he is, so he's got to take him out. I just don't understand why Jared wasn't willing to like at least consider. Like he doesn't even think about it. So
literally though, but like Jared, what are you thinking?
Right now he's the easy target, but keeping him in there would be good for all of their games. So it's time for the veto. So it's time for the veto, and after heavily debating between both nominees, Jag does ultimately decide to save Corey. Jared then lets everyone know, regardless of his decision, it's all a game to him, and he's looking forward to hanging out with them outside of there. And he then renominates Cam in Corey's place, which, again, not shocking. We pretty much knew he was going to do that.
At first, I was honestly like thinking he'd save America, but then after this week, I'm like, oh, well, it just seemed like it made more sense to save Corey, and also because he's picking for veto.
Yeah. Well, I think it was also to kind of like stick it to Jared because he wanted to make Jared think like he trusted him over Corey. But then he's like, no, I actually trusted Corey. So Jag says he decided.
And it also does make sense, like, because she probably has the better chance to stay over him.
Yeah. So Jag says he decided to use the veto on Corey because he thinks America has a way better chance of surviving the block next to Cam. He thinks this week should be very straightforward, and come Thursday night, he should be walking out the door. And America says that she's still on the block, but people have been trying to get Cameron out of this house all summer long. So as long as nothing crazy happens, he's going to be the one meeting Julie on Thursday. Cameron then says Jared should have taken him off on his offer. I actually agree with him on this. He could have been his shield and battle axe, because as soon as he's gone, he moves to the top of the list. His game is a frog's fart away from being over, but he's had his back against the wall this entire game. He's wiggled out some pretty tight spaces there, which is exactly what he's going to do this week. And he's right. I think definitely
he's not wrong.
You know, once Jared goes, Jag and Matt are going to be the people everyone's looking at next, because this has been a season where you win a comp, you're fucked pretty much.
Yeah,
like
basically
that's how the season has gone. I mean, literally,
literally most of them had HOH-itis.
If Jared leaves tonight, the only people left in the house that have actually won a comp are Felicia and Jag. That's literally it. Isn't that fucking crazy? I've never seen that before.
And then Matt by default, if he actually took the veto, and then of course the power.
Yeah, I've never seen that happen before. That's insane to me.
Insane. Literally. I love it, honestly. It's so good.
Yeah, Corey says he took a massive risk last week and it backfired. He was nominated next to his showmans. He didn't even win the power veto, but thanks to Jag, he's off the block. He then thanks Jared for taking the shot at Cameron, and he says the only way he's going to repay him is by targeting him next week. I love that. I thought that was such
funny.
A fun way to end the episode.
It's so good.
Yeah, that is where we are at. Again, like I said, lots to talk about. This was 2 episodes, and we're an hour and 45 minutes into this. So
I know
how much is going on.
Yep.
I guess
literally this season, like every episode that we do is going to be long.
Yeah. I guess the only other thing left to really do here is kind of speculate as to what's really happening tonight, because I've heard different things here and there. First of all, I think the thing I want to ask you, do you think this is an actual double eviction?
I do think it could be either a fake double or just like a battle back.
Yeah.
Because I do think it's because of the 100-day thing. They might do that. But I mean, it also, I don't know too, like, why would they do that pre-jury? Like, why wouldn't they just save a fake double or a battle back for jury?
And it's really
because they already had the power.
Yeah, and it's really unfair for like the other pre-jurors that didn't get a chance to come back. So like, that's why I'm a little unsure if that's what's actually going to happen.
They did say Scaryverse, so we'll see.
You know what they could do is, because they said this is going to kick off Scaryverse week. They didn't say that this will be Scaryverse week. They said it's going to kick off Scaryverse week. So maybe like someone wins HOH and then they have to be in like the Nether region for like
that could be cool too,
for like 24 hours or something. Like they could do that.
I could see that. Like maybe they go to the Netherverse and Nether region and they are like safe or something and can't communicate.
Yeah, that's what I think is probably going to happen. But I think it'd be really fucking cool is if someone wins HOH and they have to make all their nominees like from the Nether region and the veto and everything. Like, they can't even communicate. They have to do it.
That would be interesting. You know, it'd be also pretty spicy if it's not even like a regular like double. What if it's like a safety chain?
I mean, here's the thing. Big Brother has been trying to like quote unquote steal things from BB Can for like a while.
I mean,
seasons.
True. I don't know. Like, I wouldn't put it past them to do that.
It's not out of the realm of possibility, but I also feel like BBUS is usually much more like
another one. What if it's like an instant, so they don't even play like maybe like they just do the HOH comp and then they have to just evict somebody there or something?
I mean, it's possible. I just feel like Big Brother's very like, let's stick to the status quo, like stick to what we do. We don't really do anything different. But I mean, that has changed in the past few seasons with some things that they've done differently. So it's certainly possible that they could do that, but I guess we'll really just have to see.
We'll have to see.
In my opinion, I think tonight, I will be very surprised if Jared is not following Cameron right outside that door.
Yeah. The only way I will say it would be really spicy if like he won veto or Sari won HOH, but like, I mean, obviously like I don't want Jared to stay over other people, but I mean, it would just be spicy and stuff, especially for Sari's sake.
Yeah, definitely. I think that I think it would be spicy to see Jared stay. I think if it's not going to be Jared, it's probably going to be like Jag that goes.
I honestly think it could be. I don't know. I don't see Jag yet. I see Jag maybe after the double. Like I can like I honestly right now at this point I see Jag maybe being first juror. Like I don't know. I feel like if it's not Jared this after in the double, I don't know. Maybe Bowie, maybe Corey.
Yeah, it could happen. That could happen. Although I will say, I think Corey's in a better spot right now than America. So
yeah, I don't want America to go, but
I don't either. But I think Corey has done some really good work this week. So I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know. I honestly I'm honestly kind of getting first juror vibes from Jag and America right now.
Yeah, some people have mentioned Blue as a possibility. I mean, I could see it. I think if she's against Jared and like Jared wins the veto, that could happen. But like
I don't know, maybe.
I think she's definitely one of the people that could leave tonight, but I mean Jared is the most likely person to also leave tonight. If they're doing a battle back, if they are doing a battle back, I don't think it's going to be in this episode. I think it's going to be like throughout the week because again, there's no Wednesday episode planned. So like what's up with that? Is there no veto this week? Like what's that all about?
Yeah, literally.
So
also, I feel like the only people for sure safe tonight are like Mimi, Matt, Felicia.
Yeah. I'm just really
hoping... also I could see Bowie going too, like if it's just kind of like let's just get her out because she like just because like I could see her being a double eviction boot, but like I also do see her as like someone they take far.
I don't think this will be the last double they do this season. I think there's definitely going to be another one. It's pretty crazy though, like usually when we're talking about Big Brother at this time of the year, it's wrapping up. Like it's the finale. I know. So it's pretty crazy that like we're not even in jury yet.
I'm trying to, how many people will they be down to for Halloween? Like 5 or 6?
Yeah.
Because since like it's November 9th, it's ends. So like probably like Halloween is probably 5 or 6, and they might.
Yeah, we still have another month to go, which is another month and a half, which is crazy.
I know, it's insane.
But yeah, I'm just really interested to see how this is going to go. I'm hoping that this is an actual double, just because I don't really want, not just because I don't want to see Cameron or Jared back. I don't want to see them back in general. But like, it's also because of the fact that I just want them to get to jury. I don't want them to keep dragging out the pre-jury.
I know.
Just because, like, but I also recognize that this is a very different season in terms of the pre-jury. Pre-jury is a lot bigger. The jury isn't going to be as significant of a portion this season.
Yeah. Also, when it gets to jury, it feels like Big Brother goes even faster.
It does. So yeah, I'm very interested to see how this all plays out. I think it's going to be I think regardless, this is going to be such an exciting double. There's so many possibilities.
I'm so excited.
There's so much that can happen. And especially if it ends up being a battle back and something really crazy happens and then that person comes back, that is the only thing I will be excited about if there's a battle back. I don't
would be also like maybe like it's not an actual battle back. Maybe the 2 people evicted just have to like do a challenge together, and then maybe like I don't know, maybe they either both go back in, or if they like lose the comp, they're both out or something.
I don't know. We'll see what happens. That'd be really complicated. Well, I don't know why they put them both back in. What's the point of tonight's episode?
Yeah.
If that's the case?
Or that's I don't know. Who knows? We'll see.
Yeah, but either way, going to be very interesting to see how things play out tonight. I thought we were maybe going to do a live react, but I don't know if we're going to be able to. I know you mentioned the possibility of
we're going to try. Well, maybe we're going to try, but obviously it depends on your org schedule, like with tribal and such. So if you're able to, but if not, we're just going to do it later.
Yeah, but other than that, very excited to see how tonight plays out. It's going to be a very exciting night for sure. But of course, give us all your speculations and stuff. Would love to hear all of that. There's a lot of possibilities for what could happen tonight. But other than that, that's it for this video. We do have some things to plug before we do close this out, though, of course.
All right. So obviously, stay tuned for the traders mini assessment and draft coming up soon, which probably won't take us that long.
And they did announce the USA cast, so we will definitely be giving our thoughts on that, because I think that's definitely like a hot topic right now, as it should be.
Yeah, right? That'd be awesome. Ugh, so exciting. And then obviously, well, all of our season reviews we'll obviously do whenever we're caught up and everything. And then stay tuned for the Survivor premiere.
Yes, very excited for 45. We did do a cast assessment for that, if you guys want to check that out.
Yeah, and also a very competitive draft.
Yes, very competitive draft for sure. I do not regret picking the people that I did. I do regret.
Me neither.
I am still mad at you for the second person you picked, but we'll leave that there.
Well, I'm still mad at you for the first.
Well, you know what? Whatever. Anyway, and then of course later tonight or during the episode, you know, we will be doing a video about tonight's double eviction. I'm sure it's going to be a spicy one. I'm so excited to see how it all goes down, and you definitely will not want to miss that.
And and if anyone wants to be a guest for it, either if we do a live react or just like or just a review, hit us up, and
yeah. But other than that, that's it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. And remember, couples who podcast together, stay together. We will see you guys later.
Bye, guys. See you later.